This video is on sponsor of research and conflict of interest. What is meant by sponsor of research? Sponsor of research would be the organization, the individual, the group that pays for the research. Much research it can be costly. Somebody has to pay for it. And so therefore researchers will try to get funding from a foundation, maybe the government, maybe a company to help pay for what they're doing. And this can introduce the problem of conflict of interest. For instance, if a drug company is paying to have research done on the effectiveness of their drug, doesn't that drug company want or hope that the research will prove their drug is effective, that it works? And the issue here is, what's going to happen if the research doesn't prove it? Or are they going to be tempted to try to make the results look like it does prove it? Are they going to hide results that are not favorable? Are they only going to look at the results that make their drug look good? And this is why we got to look at conflict of interest. It doesn't mean that because a drug company or any company pays for research, they're going to try to manipulate the results. But we need to be aware of who paid for the research and whether or not there would be what we call this conflict of interest, And so therefore, how do we deal with that? Well, one, in a lot of research you see today, the researcher will say, hey, I'm being paid by this company, and this company makes this drug, and I did research on this drug, so therefore I'm letting you know that, this is what's going on, but the researcher says, boom, my research is still good. That's one way. The other way is we have what we call peer-reviewed, where peers look at it. Peer would be a researcher that's into the same area, somebody that knows that topic, and they look at that research and say, was that research good? Was it solid, And if they say it was good and it was solid, then that is a good indication that maybe even though the group wanted a certain result, the result is valid even if the result favors that group. So all we say is look at who sponsored the research, be real careful that research doesn't represent conflict of interest, and try to look for what we call peer-reviewed research, where other scientists in that area have looked at the research and said, yes, it is valid. End of video.